My loved one, once vibrant and full of life, was now facing a terminal illness. Suddenly, the familiar routines of our days were replaced by an unsettling new normal. One of the first battles we faced was food. The illness had made my loved one's stomach incredibly sensitive, a fragile ecosystem that rejected nourishment as easily as it accepted it. Each meal became a delicate dance. I meticulously researched foods, poring over cookbooks and online forums dedicated to sensitive stomachs. I spent hours in the kitchen, carefully preparing meals that were both appealing and easy to digest. But despite my best efforts, the plate often returned half full, a symbol of my struggle to nourish my loved one's body. This simple act, once taken for granted, had become a source of immense frustration and anxiety. Every bite felt like a victory, every refusal a defeat. It was a constant reminder of the illness's grip, a tangible manifestation of its power over our lives. "I don't want it," my loved one would say, his voice weak and laced with exhaustion. The food, carefully chosen and prepared with love, would be pushed aside, an act of defiance from a body at war with itself. Sometimes thrown at the wall, frustration gnawed at me, a bitter undercurrent to the worry and fear. I knew he needed to eat, to keep up his strength. Didn't he understand that? No, he did not. But as I looked at his pale face, his eyes clouded with discomfort, I realized it wasn't that simple. It wasn't stubbornness. It was their body's way of crying out, of rejecting anything that might cause further distress. I felt like I was failing, unable to provide even the most basic comfort. The guilt was a cruel companion, whispering doubts in my ear, reminding me of my limitations in the face of this relentless illness. Days blurred into weeks, each one a relentless cycle of caregiving. Medications, appointments, sleepless nights punctuated by worry. The demands were endless. My own needs, once so important, faded into the background. Sleep became a luxury I could barely afford. Meals were rushed and often forgotten. My body running on fumes was a constant reminder of the toll this was taking. I would try to get him outside in the fresh area. My kids came over, and I took advantage of their visit, so I started cleaning up the backyard. There were 16 Home Depot buckets. I asked if I could get rid of half of them. He said no. That's where your body parts are going. My kids looked at me. We had a triangle of looks of disbelief of what he had just said. Is he kidding? Is he serious? Is he capable? So we were very uncomfortable, and my boys decided to go home. As they went to their car, my loved one said, "Don't forget, if the police show up, she's in the buckets." It now hit me. We are at a new level of this disease. Someone reported his statement to the police, and they knocked on the door. The police had asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes." "We got a report about something your husband said." I panicked. If I say, "Yes, he said it," where would they take him? Maybe he was kidding. If I say, "I'm not okay, will I ever see him again?" I promised him to be with him to the end. So I said, "It was a joke, thank you." He screamed, "You called the police?" I said, "No." "Yes, you did." And he went crazy. I wanted to yell out the door, "Come back," but I couldn't. But this gave me the new chapter of our journey, as he is unsafe. The support group told me to get out of the house. I have to admit, it sounded like heaven. But I can't. I need to make sure he is safe. I was in a delusional state. He won't hurt me. He's not like that. He's not a mean person. If I only knew. I moved into the attic, portable heater, air conditioner, water bottles, pillows, blankets, and a cord for my phone and a baby monitor. He couldn't walk up a ladder. I pulled the string up through the hatch so he wouldn't know where I was. I could come down and give him His meds, food, water, clean him up and hide when I needed to. It became a safe place for me. The acceptance of knowing he would and could hurt me was hard to accept, but I had to. It clouded my thoughts, making it difficult to focus on anything beyond the immediate needs of my loved one. I longed for a moment to myself, a chance to breathe and simply exist without the weight of responsibility pressing down on me. But the guilt returned, a vicious cycle. How could I think of myself when my loved one needed me so desperately? So I pushed on, ignoring the exhaustion, telling myself that self-care could wait, that my needs were insignificant compared to theirs. One evening, as I sat by my loved one's bedside, weary and emotionally drained, the unthinkable happened. They turned to me, their eyes filled with a mix of confusion and fear, and said, "I don't love you. I miss my previous wife, Nancy." This not only hurtful, but confusing, because he never had anything nice to say about her, nor did his family. He told me I was ugly, stupid, gross. I kept my tears back and waited until I left the room to let them pour down my face. I was saying to myself, what am I doing here? Why am I risking my life for a man that no longer can even look at me? But then reality soaked up in my confused thoughts. I said to myself, he's not him, get over it. Easier said than done. The words, spoken softly, landed like a blow to my chest, stealing my breath and leaving me reeling. I knew he didn't mean it, not really. The illness, the medications, they were playing tricks on their mind, creating a distorted reality where I, their source of comfort and care, had become the enemy. But the pain of their words cut deep, leaving me feeling raw and exposed. In that moment, I felt utterly alone, the weight of their illness and my own exhaustion crushing me. I retreated to the quiet corner of the house, seeking refuge from the storm of emotions raging inside me, thinking I need something to keep me sane. This is when I signed up for an online school on Ayurvedic medicine. By Deepak Chopra, this became my lifeline, my splice, my obsession. Other than taking care of my loved one, my head was online in class, in the attic, wherever I could go. It was like a sign from somewhere. This is exactly what I needed to survive this disease. I found myself excited to wake up, open my computer, learn, practice what I was learning. It was my drug of choice. To go to school. It really was saving my sanity. I tried to keep it quiet. I knew I didn't need added stress, but this became the opposite. I felt a sense of normalcy. When it was time to meditate, I found myself resetting the timer over and over, using guided imagery in the attic, taking trips around the world. I didn't want the trips to end, but I knew I could come right back. These moments, stolen from the chaos, were my lifeline, reminding me that I was still here, still me, even amidst the turmoil.